Alright, in theory, everything should be going. We should be live. Ew. Hold on. Sorry about that. Had something pop up on my end as soon as I hit live. So, yeah, that seems to be how things go lately. Alright, there we go. Ew. Man, hold on. I apologize, guys. YouTube is really borking me over right now. Let me try this again. There we go. Okay. Alright. Sorry about that. Anyways. Gotta love the scuff right off the bat. Alright. Welcome, Dem. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well for you. Welcome to Dragon Quest III. This is personally my favorite of the old school Dragon Quest games. I do think there's really good, compelling arguments that the other newer games are probably better. Sure, finger quotes. But this is one that holds a special place in my heart. And when I was going through looking at what kind of things I could find on Google that I wanted to use for a thumbnail, because that's kind of how I do things, I found some artwork that basically made me say, hey, that party that I was going to do, screw that. I'm going to run into the idea of the fan art. Arguing with the girlfriend. Same old, same old. Oh, sorry about that. Also, yes, sorry about that comment, too. Yeah, that is the unfortunate side of the dating scene. Kind of in that position myself. Not so much the arguing with the girlfriend, but the fact that it comes up. Anyways, to not dwell on that too long as hopefully, fingers crossed, it's nothing too serious. I was originally going to do a party of, a male character, do the self-insert thing, and let it run through as I was going to normally. But I saw some absolutely adorable party lineup artwork. And I am obviously not going to do any of those one-to-one because I am going to be trying out the new class in this game. But I am absolutely going to do, apparently, an all-female group. So, say what you will of that, but it was entirely fan art driven, and it was not looted up or anything. So don't go thinking any of that was my reason. But obviously that's going to play into some of this now, because that's just the way things go here, and there's no avoiding it. Alright, so if you are unfamiliar as to why I would pick the name Irene, a lot of my usernames on a lot of places is Irensack, usually intended to be pronounced like in the vein of iron, but apparently a lot of people don't get that, and one particular streamer of note that I have talked about before, who has actually stopped in our chat a couple of times, Shoko Fox, Shoko the Fox, I think, is one that to this day will not call me Irene, despite being told otherwise. I am always and forever Irene, and so when I use a female persona now, that is kind of the name I go with, just out of reasoning for that. Welcome, Idoko. How are things going for you? Hopefully this evening is treating you well. And before I get too far along, would you like to display the location of your objective? Yes, please. I'm just going to stick with the basics, leave all of that good and as is. I understand autosaving. Alright, before we get too far along, and we're going to let the story play out a little bit, I am aware of some things about this game that I want to say right out of the gate. There is censorship. I'm not a big fan of the censorship. I think I have heard that there are some story changes, but also there are some story additions, so...
If you can hear me, follow the sound of my voice.
The goddess now, okay. For some reason, I think...
Come this way.
I seem to recall in the original or the earlier renditions, maybe it was just because of the way that the Western release got it, the deity was not given a specific gendered role. However, I think as the story progresses, it's kind of implied, maybe? But I think there were remakes that came out down the line that specifically referenced to a goddess rather than a god to give it more clarity. And I think that's relatively in line with a lot of Dragon Quest lore. One of the things I love about this game, and let me see if I can check it right off the bat. I probably can't because I don't have any identifying information yet. Alright, that's the ability to run. Alright, yeah, there is no pause menu or anything. I'm good, just chilling. Well, always appreciate the chill back and the watch time. YouTube tends to like that. Anyways, one of the things I love about this game is as you level up, it's very classical JRPG in that sense. You've got a stat lineup, you've got levels, everything kind of plays out as you continue. You fight things, you get experience, you get stronger. But how your experience grows can be manipulated by items that you get in the game, skill seeds that you can pump to raise certain things. But on top of all of that, there is a personality system. Your character's personality that they start with is determined by their stat layout, but the hero's personality is determined by something that we're about to get into here. And it's a mechanic that if you want to min-max your build, you can easily push yourself down a certain path. I have been told that there has been some rebalance regarding what gets buffed when and where and how the builds work out. Frankly, if you really put the time into this game, none of that matters by the end game point. A lot of it can matter quite heavily at the beginning. But you can start farming some of those skill seeds that I mentioned, and you can start beefing up your numbers to whatever you want them to be. I am so confused. The Pokemon, I assume that's Pokemon Platinum story, is so bad. It really doesn't follow a path. I have no idea what to do. I can't remember the Pokemon Platinum story. I do remember that in that era, there were a lot of moments where they kind of make you backtrack to do weird other things that you might not necessarily inherently think about. So it really depends on where you are in the story and what you've done recently. Obviously, if you're really stuck, you can just hit it up online. The thing that Platinum does really well, in my opinion, is I'm a big fan of the Underground minigame of that era. That's just a personal preference as far as some of the additional side content they have. The music is really good in my opinion. I like how challenging the Elite Four is, especially with Cynthia at the end. And there is the entire bit of the distortion world within Platinum. All of these are massive big selling points in my opinion, but Platinum is not the be-all, end-all greatest in my opinion. I do know fully that I kinda am not the... my opinion on that is not inherently one of the more well-received ones. I beat the 7th gym. I head towards the 8th. No, I gotta run around to 3 lakes. Oh, okay, yeah, so the 3 lakes, is this where the enemy team, I can't think of it, is it Team Galactic? Is this after they're like draining the lakes and they're causing a lot of chaos and stuff? Because at that point, I think you go deal with the lakes and then you go to a hideout somewhere. I might have the order of operations backwards there, but that is the general premise. You are right at the big crux moment of the story, and I will say it does kind of feel... Again, I'm going off of memory here. I kind of get what you might be saying. It does kind of feel like it all comes to a head really, really fast. And if it's not given a proper time for a story to digest, it really does start to feel like yeah, it kind of just is just hitting hard, hammered fast, and without clear direction consistently. Irene. Can you hear me, Irene? Is that you, goddess? I am she who watches over all. One day, not long from now, you will appear before me, a true hero. But before your journey can begin, you must teach me something. Teach me what manner of person you are. You must answer my questions as honestly as you are able. Are you ready? So I am going to answer these questions honestly as I perceive them, and then there is going to be an extra layer at the end And I will probably say some things, give some commentary on it, and I'm gonna approach it as naturally as I would. I am trying to not rely on any of the knowledge I might have from older games, because I believe a lot of what this one does is going to be changed up from the past entries. So I don't want to let my past perceptions influence what's going to be going on in this game. Sorry about that. Very well. First, you must tell me your true name. I should have put the channel name. I'm too far in. I am Ian. Done and done. What month? Y'all are going to learn enough about me here, and you're going to get a little bit of a personality test, and you can make of my answers as you see fit, I suppose. Y'all can tell me how terrible of a human being I am. You were born the 24th of the month of July. Your sign is the one known in your world as Leo. Is this correct? Absolutely. Big lion, strong energy. Fuzzy lion boy, best boy. Very good, Irene. I will now ask you a series of questions. Do not dwell upon them too deeply. Answer swiftly and from the heart. Do so, and I will come to know your true mind. Now, let us begin. Do you find life to be dull and uninteresting? No, life is awesome. Fuck that. No. Upon seeing a troubled soul, is your first urge to go to there? Absolutely. I am the kind of guy that if I'm driving down the road, and this has happened more than once, and I see someone walking, and obviously it's clear the difference. If someone is just walking down the road, they're just walking down the road. But I have seen people who are showing signs that they are very much down on their luck. They are having some troubles. They are struggling. They are not in a healthy spot. And I will pick them up. I have had several conversations with people as I drive them from one location to the next. I have been told that this decision is one that will probably lead to me getting into some serious trouble one day. But these are kind of just decisions that I take. I've also more than once been sitting in a parking lot knowing that I was either A, too early for whatever I was there for, or B, irritated that I had just missed the window to pick something up. And I have quite honestly just let homeless people sit in my car and warm up, especially in the dead of winter, because that shit can and will kill you if you let it. Do you often find your head so full of thoughts that you are unable to sleep? Every goddamn night. It also looks like YouTube is back on its issue failing, so give me a second while I try to pull this up again. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, YouTube is having issues on my end. It seems to have happened right from the beginning, so I apologize for that. Do you dream often? Honestly, I have never been able to remember my dreams ever since I got into high school. Junior high was a nightmare scenario in which I was having night terrors. I actually still suffer from night terrors from time to time, but the thing about night terrors is you don't really know that you're having a night terror. That's the difference between a night terror and a nightmare, as I understand it. And the only reason I know is my dog Rhea, my German Shepherd. She likes to sleep in bed with me. She gets really upset and anxious and will whine and cry and so on if I am in emotional distress even during the day. So at night, if I start thrashing and going through the night terror process, she will actually just full on lay across my body and start crying, and I will wake up to that. So that is kind of how I know when I am and am not having that moment. I think I got to go to a cave. I don't know why, though. Oh, yeah, in the story, so if you've already gone to all three of the lakes, the cave is where they are going through to get to the end point within, which has to do with whatever deity reference. They're kind of going into a cave system to go to ancient ruins. This is where you're going to deal with, based on the version you're playing, Dialga, Palkia, or in your case, it will be Giratina. Thank you, Idoko. I was busy yapping on the Discord. I'm gonna have to go in there and take a look at what's going on. I do see you have a couple of messages in there. I will probably take a look at those after the stream. So yeah, I do not dream very often. And frankly, I will take that over remembering my dreams, because they used to not be pleasant, and they used to be a source of a lot of stress for me. Do you prefer spells and sorcery to swords and sweat? Honestly, I'm not a big mage guy. I do a lot of DMing in my in the real world, and I like magic classes that can use magic as like utility stuff, but I don't like playing like magic damaging classes all that much. And if I do, I like to just specialize down a set path, because it's too much hassle. It's too much of an annoyance. It's a lot of my more preferred builds are going to be your melee runs or maybe a rogue. I do like playing the class, not the classic sneak thief rogue, but the gentleman thief kind of archetype in that sense. But honestly, I'm far more of a give me big strong caveman and a good bonk stick and let me rage at everything. Welcome, Keegs. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well for you. I believe I forgot to say that to Rigid. Rigid, welcome to you as well, and hopefully your evening is going great. Magic is only cool if it's mixed in with melee combat. Look, a good flaming sword is badass. I get it, like, people are gonna say, oh, it doesn't really do anything yet. Fuck you, rule of cool. So yeah, I like swords and sweat, so I am not all in on the magic. Do you find the company of unfamiliar people tiresome? Alright, so I'm just going to have to take this as a gut reaction, because it really depends on what they mean by this. If I am in the company of unfamiliar people, like I'm just out and about and people I don't know are near me, that's not an issue. If I have to engage with people that I know nothing about, that can be tiresome, but there are caveats to that. So I'm going to say no on the idea that we're just talking about me kind of just out and about. Are you able to prevent failure from prying upon your mind? I wish. Is your circle of acquaintances wide and varied? You know, way more than I ever thought it would be. Something about me getting older. A lot of people say like, oh man, we meet fewer and fewer people. And I'm like, motherfucker, I know more people now than I did in high school. So yes, my circle of, again, acquaintances are not the same as friends. These are people that I'm assuming they're asking about the people within my circle of social dealings. Do you pay much heed to the gossip of others? People can talk mad shit, but for the most part, I mean, hell, I talk mad shit. But it's not a matter of, letting it be a primary deciding factor for me, so no. If you are deceived by another, do you believe the blame lies at least in part with your own carelessness? Ooh, okay, so this is kind of this is a moral one. If you guys are familiar with the idea of scam artists, there is a whole thing as far as a common trope in the mindset of those who scam people. And that is the idea that they aren't the problem. Their victim is the problem. Their victim is someone who let their guard down too much. They should have been aware of the way the world works. And fuck that. There is an element to that holds some monicum of truth. But I'm reading into this as a tiny, small fractal part, and I'm going to agree with it. But I want to put it out there that the idea that the fault is of the victim in that is absolute garbage. Even the idea that it's 50-50. Fuck that dumb shit. No. But, as worded, at least in part, yes. If I let my foolishness take better of me, and I fed into something that was too good to be true, I should have given it more care and credence in my approach. But that does not mean that the fault is anything that need befall me on blame in such a scenario as I've laid out. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I feel that I know you a little better now. Now, let us move to your final test of your character. Alright, and now this is an entire scenario that they're putting me in, and I get to explore it and deal with the approach as I see fit. I don't remember this one from the original, so this is one I wouldn't normally get, I guess. The ones I remember, there is a cave system that you walk through, and there are signs, and you get to decide whether or not you're going to obey the signs, as well as some other things that come up. There's an old man who asks you to push a boulder. Oh, and then there's one where you play as a monster and you go around dealing with a town. Whether how you go about that is up to you, the player. And this reminds me of a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. Yes, the personality quiz does play into that element quite a bit. Hi, Keegs, what's up? I was letting this play in the background. Doing good. I found a good drive for my cardio. And I plan on burning, 1,000 calories tomorrow, give or take. Yeah, the averaging 600, that's probably in the realm of what I do. I'm not all that big on cardio. I do have, a comfort level that I kind of keep at. In all honesty, I absolutely should be doing more, but that's probably close to the rough concept where I'm at. 1,000 though, mad respect, go get it. It's the scammer's fault. People are curious by nature and people tend to overlook things. Scammer's fault first time around, but if you fall for something again and again, well, again, I would still say that, again, that's the idea of, is it in part the blame to fall on you? Yes, but it is still a matter of someone being an evil, vile person to take advantage of someone in such a way, knowingly. Again, it is very different when someone engages in a fair trade of something, believing both of them to be well within the realm of what things should be going for, and then something just happens. Let's say, for example, I have a car in decent shape. I sell you that car at a decent price, fair for what it is, and let's be honest, shit happens, life happens. You have that car for 2 months and it breaks down and falls apart. It does that suck? Yes. Is that anybody involved there scamming somebody out of their position? No. That is, life happens, shit happens. But if I knew full well that I was selling you a vehicle that I knew it had a weird thing going on at the bottom, but it's like, it's not going to show itself for a little bit, but when it does, it's going to fall up. Then it is. But it's that kind of mentality that goes into even something that you do small as a cycle. You're still the asshole playing into victimizing people, and I will not support that myself. But yeah, again, that kind of plays into the part of the blame does start to fall onto you, but it's not even nearly a 50-50 in my opinion. That's fair, Keegs. The whole fool me twice thing applies. I found if I find a good show, then it really drives my cardio. Yeah, for me, it's music. I will put on some music, and that's kind of what drives me going. Talking of calories, I got 2 large pizzas today for 14... Talking about calories, I got 2 pizzas. Here's some pricing. Going from calories to dollar bills. Unfortunately, when you're trying to actually watch your diet, it does actually start to factor in, money matters. Should have cost at least 24 pounds at the end of the day. Oh, okay, so this is coming from Dem. I was like, what, pounds? I was reading Dem and, for whatever reason, looking at Rigid's icon. 2 large pizzas today for 14.50 pounds, about 18 bucks. From Domino's, should have cost at least 24 pounds, 8-1. I know someone who is able to, they constantly go to, is it Domino's or Pizza Hut? It's one of those, and they have a money back system as far as like, you know, bad quality. And the reason they eat there is because the shop near them is absolute fucking shit. And they go there because they can get terrible, god-awful pizzas, but they can get it for free because every time they get it delivered, they just call it in and they just, like, send them a picture of the absolute dog shit that they got. And so that's why they keep doing it. And it's kind of like, look, I get it. They are not in a decent financial spot, and so they're kind of just getting their food where they can. But it's also like, my God, that's actually kind of stupidly clever, and I kind of gotta respect it. So I got the last 6 episodes of the Dragon Prince Season 7 saved for my morning cardio. Yeah, music too? Yeah, music is what I go through. Alright, so let's check up with some people here. Haha, that's the ticket! I do so love to watch Peony strut her stuff. Makes me feel young again! Gotcha, old man. Hey, just look at her go. Go on, my girl. I know who's sitting at that table. Hey, you know who she is, don't you? Well, apparently her name is like Peony, but I don't know who she is. You don't? Blimey, poor old you. That young lady up on stage is the divine and delicious Princess Peony. She's the greatest dancing girl to ever grace the stage. Well, you know, I'm not gonna fault you for your, for having your preference. Oh, Peony, my darling, my one, my only, my world. You might not think that you might not think it to look at me, but I'm the lucky man that girl up there is going to marry. Well, we're engaged anyway. To tell you the truth, I can't help worrying that she's, You couldn't go and ask her quickly for me, could you? Just, you know, go up and check if she still loves me. You'll do that, won't you? My guy, what? You're engaged with her. Go deal with your own I'm gonna go talk with her at least. And a 1, and a 2, and a shuffle, and a twirl. Hello there, darling. Did you want something? What's that? Engaged? Yeah, I am. But to be... Well, I can tell that someone just walked in. One moment, please. Alright, it does sound like I got some family that just walked in, but they're just gonna probably do some holiday stuff, so I'm gonna keep going. But to be honest, I've been thinking, and my career just has to come first, you know? You wouldn't be a love and go tell him for me, would you? That I can't marry him, I mean. Go on. Say you will. Pretty please. I'd be ever so grateful. Y'all fuckers deal with your own shit. Yeah, get me out of here. Yeah, leaving so soon. Alright then. Don't let me stop you. Y'all deal with your life's problems. I thought the pound symbol was euro, and then remember dem is British. Yeah, I don't understand fully. I know there's pounds, there's euro, and then there's something that I hear people call a quib. I have no idea what these 3 terms mean or if they're all the same. I remember dem is British. They have pounds. Hey, dem, if I weigh 300 pounds, how much do I weigh in stones? He called her delicious, eyeing that woman like a piece of meat, I see. Yeah, look, things were happening there, and I was not comfortable, so I'm glad that I just walked the hell out of there. Y'all deal with your own problems here. I'm not gonna lie, my diet routine has been off with the Christmas holidays. The holidays are the worst. Thanksgiving for me is the point when I put a lot of weight on, and then I struggle in the ups and downs because there is always things around Thanksgiving that happen, and then afterwards you have Christmas and then New Year's, it's usually not until after New Year's that I can really start to put myself back on that downward trend. And that's just because social dynamics and things are what they are. The exercise routine is thrown off. Sometimes I have to get my exercise in the morning. Sometimes I have to get it late at night. I still put the time in, but that because the diet is so bad at this time of the year, the best I can manage is just maintaining. And frankly, as long as I can, course correct afterwards, it's usually not a big problem after that. I am she who watches over all, and I have seen what manner of person you are. Irene, you are a free spirit. Whatever you do it at your own pace, on your own terms, and you take as much time as you feel it requires. However, your weakness lies in your tendency to panic when pressured. No, hold on. I don't panic when pressured by others. I panic when I pressure myself. But, that's fair enough. And when you panic, you make mistakes. Yes, I do. I'm looking at my hands absolutely covered in scars. Therefore, you must learn to remain unperturbed no matter what may come. Only then will you be able to convince others that you are not the fool they sometimes... Oh, no, wait. I know I'm a fool, and I love myself for it. The ability to remain calm under pressure is within you. I have been there before. When day-to-day shit happens, yes. When it really comes down to, Ian, you need to buckle down and put shit together, I absolutely can, and I do. I just hate it. So it is like I can, but I don't like to. The ability to remain calm under pressure is within you. I sense it. I know it is there. This is your spirit, your soul, the essence of your character. Now, my child, very soon the dawn will break, and you will rise to greet the new day. I am she who watches over all, and I look forward to the time when you and I come face to face at last. Okay, quid is like calling the dollar a buck. Okay, thank you for that. So it is the same thing as a euro or pound, right? Which one does it apply to, or does it apply to both? Because I think the euro and the pound can vary based on where you are. I don't know. I'm talking about European money, and I don't fully understand. Holiday screw diets up, so true. I have no idea about the pounds to stones. As for some money, euros are used in most of Europe. Pounds are the same as quid and use... Okay. So pounds are in England and Wales and Scotland. And I believe, Dem, you are Welsh, correct? So you are making use of pounds. Do the British have a decimal system like the U.S. currency? Are there coins? I believe there are. You have like pounds and pence, I think is what they're called. I'm going to be home by myself for the weekend again, and then I'm supposed to head up with my nephew to the camp on Christmas Day, and I'm going to stay up there with my mom through New Year's. I don't know much about the camp you go to. I think you've shared a picture of it when you guys had your like Thanksgiving event, which, by the way, really cool setup that you had there. But I'm hoping while you're out there, because you're going to be post the holidays leading into New Year's, you'll be able to get a kickstart and be ahead of me as far as that balance for the bounce back post holidays. There we go. Our story begins on the morning of Irene's 16th birthday. Oh shit, we got voice acting! Hold on. Guys, let me know if I need to turn this up at all. I'm excited. Hold on. I've got a Dragon Quest old school JRPG with voice acting. Oh yeah, that's where the 99 pence store comes from Flapjack comes from. I forgot about that. No, I'm English, but I live in Wales. Big difference, probably like calling an American Canadian or Mexican. Okay. Fair enough. Look, again, I am not going to claim to know fuck all about what goes on over there. Yeah, that wasn't at the camp. It was at my cousin's house. Ah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh.
Oh, there we are. Baby Irene. Oh, hold up. That's our Giga Chad dad, the hero Ortega, I think was his name. Ortega or something like that. Can't it wait until she's a little bit older? Big Papa Chad man. It pains me to say that wow. It pains me to say that we have had no word from Ortega. Yeah, okay, it is Ortega. Since he left for the volcano. I believe in the Dragon Quest game, all you really get to see, and I think it's like the pre-game thing if you don't start immediately, is you get to see a cutscene of Ortega fighting something over a volcano and him falling in. I might be wrong about that. The Game Boy Color version is the one I've played the most. I have played other versions as far as I have the Switch, I don't want to say remake, but port over of some of them. I've played the NES, I believe, and I think I had to play the Super Nintendo on an emulator. Yo, King! Welcome in. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well. I have no idea why you're deleting messages, but I missed them so they don't get read.
Well, no time like the present.
I know.
I wonder how many of the hidden goodies that I do know about are going to be easily recognizable, because already this house looks different than what I'm familiar with from my playing before. It's definitely bigger, it's fuller, there's more going on, so we'll see what gets triggered in my brain as we continue going forward. Hi, King, you're the artist from the Discord. Yeah, by the way, King, dead serious, when I put that message in Discord, have you actually ever considered... sorry about that. Have you considered taking, like, commissions or anything? Because, no joke, that is some good shit. It was, probably... Was it one of the Undertale one? Was it one of the Sans one I'm thinking of? But definitely the Naruto one was like the holy shit. Hold up, man's got some talent there. No, you haven't. Look, if you're ever interested, like, let me know, because I love supporting independent artists, and have definitely done so for people starting out a couple of times just to get the foot in the door. All right, Mom. What are we doing? Oh, one moment, please.
I'll go and wake them now.
All right, there we go. Thank you. I'm gonna think about that. Yeah, I mean, put some stuff out there at the very least. If you're already looking at like things to flex your creative, this is gonna sound weird. If you're already looking at things to help you flex your creative juices and get some ideas going, at the very least, when people ask things of you, you can make a couple of bucks here and there. I don't know what is a fair rate for the price to quality or anything like that. That is outside of my realm, but I figure if you're already doing stuff like that, make a couple of bucks here and there. Oh, cool. We actually get to see some of our gear just sitting over there. The wallpaper that I used as far as the thumbnail for the stream on this is specifically the iconic pose that I love the most of the primary...
Wakey, wakey, rise and shine.
Of the primary heroic things, but There is an old poster that I used to have that I absolutely love, that in my looking for this stuff, I was able to find a raw printout of, including the black border that the poster I had originally had. And I was super stoked to find that. I saved that image just so that I can try to find a place to do a printout of it because I want to put that back up in a room somewhere. What game is this? This is the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. So the original Dragon Quest III actually came out in, at least in the States, under the title Dragon Warrior 3 because of a whole naming thing way back in the day. But it goes all the way back to the NES and is part of an initial Dragon Quest trilogy. And this is, for me personally, my favorite of the retro JRPG Dragon Quest games. I have other games that I would put right up here with it that I hold as a special place, but in Dragon Quest specifically, until you're getting into the PS2 era, this game reigns supreme for me. Can I play on my Nintendo? Yes, I am actually playing on the Nintendo Switch right now, but if you're looking to just experience the game, there is, I believe, an NES, a Super Nintendo, and now there is a Nintendo Switch remake and a re-release, a port of the older version that is more closely tied to the Super Nintendo version, I think. Don't hold me to that one. But this game has seen release on so many things. I believe it even has a mobile release. So it's a big deal. Is it free? If you know where to go, hint, hint, wink, wink, for the other versions. But no, I don't think this game is free anywhere. Square Enix is not big on letting people have fun for free. But it is available on the Switch, and if you are willing to emulate the older versions of it, and get a little creative, you can find it for the low price of the beautiful 5-finger discount. But yeah, no, Square Enix loves to bleed people dry. I almost got the special edition of this game, which was like over $100, and all it came was with a nice fancy box that looked like a book. You can see the bookshelf there. In the game, there are important books that were traditionally represented by being red. And all it was is the game was put in a red cardboard-like box, and it had a bunch of like little acrylic die-cut characters. And don't get me wrong, they were cool, I wanted them, but it is not worth the upcharge to $100-something. And so I kicked myself in the ass and said, there's no way I'm going to be paying that. Probably going to look at eBay. You might be able to find it at a decent price on eBay.
Morning, my darling. It's time to get up. Today's a very important day. After
One of the
all,
other
it's
things that
not
I love
every
about this
morning
game
asks
is
the
it gives
king
you a
himself
lot of
to give your
creative
victory
freedom on your
his
party
personal
layout. And we're going to
blessing.
cover that in a bit here.
This is what I've been raising you for all these years. Well then, shall we get going? Come on, follow me.
There we go. We got our little tunic on, our little nighttime outfit. Come on, give me that classic blue. There we go. The traveler's outfit. All right, and one of the first things I got to check. There we go. Seat of Strength. I believe, if I remember correctly, the Free Spirit, which is the personality that I have right now. Let me check here. Status. Yeah, the Free Spirit. I think this is one that predominantly lets me kind of grow as a stat layout relatively evenly. So I'm probably going to take a lot of the melee skill seeds that I get and pump them right into her. That, don't read into that too much. Yeah. A lot of that actually is, I did a channel years and years and years ago that was hot garbage, and I let it die, but I kept the channel. Eventually, I did a relaunch with my brother when we were finally breaking out from the homeless status we were in. And again, that was just something to do to eat up time that was relatively cheap to do because anybody with a camera can technically do some of that. And again, it died out, stopped happening, and then eventually it got reintroduced as the Super Rensack Brothers channel, the SRB moniker that it runs under right now. Again, as a project between my brother and I, but definitely moving into a better spot. And then where I am now, as things are now, now it's just me. Now, my brother does come around from time to time, but it's not like he's going to be doing YouTube with me. The man is raising a family. So that's all. The channel has gone through many iterations, many die-off points, many abandonments and relaunches. Yes, Rigid, gotta love... I love the whole outfit.
Off you go, and remember to mind your manners. I won't have the king thinking you've been dragged up.
Alright, gonna ignore... Alright, is that X for... Yeah, okay, I already did that, and there is no pause menu anything. So, as I recall... Oh. Okay, so apparently there's some sort of memory system. I'll figure that out later. As I recall, there's a lot of, like, go out and explore... In Dragon Quest 3, and I don't remember 1 and 2 that cleanly, I believe 1 definitely had a lot of things to be found, but I don't remember 2 very well. But there are, like, it encourages you, go out and explore things. There we go. Look in barrels, look in vases. Can I look in these vases? No. Look in barrels, look in vases, look in pouches, look at bookshelves, look in cabinets, look at things and go explore. Alright, that one's locked. It encourages you to do all of that. There are things to be found all over the place. Some of them are just general buffs, which, by the way, as I mentioned, these seeds are permanent stat increases. I believe commonly in the realm of 1 to 3 points, and it's kind of a random luck of the dice thing. Oh, and then mini medals are another thing that you're going to find all over time. In Dragon Quest 3 on the Game Boy Color, you also got medals for fighting certain enemies and certain other conditions. There's a whole thing to all of that, but you will be able to find a couple of very unique one-time available items in some spots and locations as well. Alright, looks like there's nothing out this way. Fair enough. Alright, so now we're going to go meet the king. And I'm going to have to go do a lot of the exploration inside the castle as well. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of goodies to be found there. Alright, I don't want to go through the castle too much because I don't want to get too distracted. We're going to go talk to the king first and foremost.
Child of Ortega.
I am so happy to have voice acting, though. Please tell me this ambassador guy is going to have some sort of goofy, doof-ass voice.
We could not locate any of Ortega's belongings. I see. To think something out there is capable of besting a man of his caliber.
My husband thought long and hard before setting off. I'm sure he was at peace when he passed.
There is just something, like, weirdly, thematically beautiful about that. Reminds me of that Reminds me of that channel that I gifted you the Patreon of, Spaz Boys. Was originally run by the old dude and his son. His son moved on to bigger and better things, but still pops up. Yeah, even when we were doing the Warhammer game, my brother, for his interest in the game, decided to stop in and watch a couple of the streams. And that was, honestly, it was really cool to see him stopping in like that. But it is not something that happens all that often, unfortunately.
Doubtless your mother has recounted the tale of your father's final moments many times. When he fell into the maw of that accursed volcano, the world lost a great man. However, we wholeheartedly approve of your wish to follow in his footsteps and set forth on the path of adventure. For it is what he would have wanted. And only the child of such a hero as he could hope to save our world. The foe we face is dire indeed, the Archfiend Baramos. Many of the peoples of this world do not yet even know his name. And yet, his grip on our realm grows ever tighter.
I've got to say, I think this is fairly similar to, what was it, Octopath Traveler or whatever. The setting and layout of this game, in the idea of the sprite work and the map layout, the thematics of the field here and the way it looks. This is just beautiful to look at. Which, by the way, there are games back in the days of, like, I think was it Super Nintendo? Where they did things like this in creative, exploratory ways. And one of the ways that they did it was by squishing and stretching the sprite art based on what direction you were looking at for it. It was a really creative idea, but if you ever look at, like, what the game would look like from a side view, everything is angled and distorted, and it's really weird. But when the game is played from the perspective that they intended as the player, it just looks pretty as hell. All right, King, have a good one. Enjoy the night, and because I don't think I will see you unless I see you in Discord between now and then, enjoy the holiday season, and have a blessed one.
He must be stopped, no matter the cost. You must free us from the Archfiend's ever-encroaching tyranny. But alone, you will only meet the same fate as your father. Go and consult with Mistress Patty in town, and use this to outfit the companions she has selected for you.
Alright, we got some basic... Yeah, go out and save the kingdom. No, save the world. Here's $50 and some basic bitch equipment. Good luck!
Allow me to proffer some guidance. You would be
Yes!
able to seek out
He
the
sounds like a weenie!
an implement that can open a myriad of the world's doors. But first, I suggest you heed His Majesty's advice and seek like-minded individuals at Patty's party planning place.
God, whoever read that was just on point. Absolutely the weenie I needed him to be.
Once you have done so, try making your way to Reeve, a quaint village to the northwest of our fair kingdom.
Yes, he is the epitome of Weenie Hut Jr. And yes, the king on screen is definitely talking about a grip getting tighter. Unfortunately, he is talking about the grip getting tighter to a, what, I believe they said 16-year-old. Just pointing that out there. Just looking at him.
You will now find Reeve marked on your map. Locating the rest of the realm's noteworthy areas, however, is a task I believe best left in your capable hands. You simply need note down anywhere you happen to visit. Be sure to see these places with your own eyes first, though. Otherwise, you'll likely forget to mark them on your map.
Ooh, all right.
Remember, your curiosity is an asset most valuable.
Go out there and actually explore. I love that.
Surely benefit.
I've mentioned before. Oh, this is information I need to put out there regarding the Ys 10 playthrough. I'm not sure if I'm going to be continuing that or not, and my reasoning for that is I'm a big fan of the Ys games, and I have no problem exploring that game in my own time. But as far as doing it on the channel, I would also continue playing Ys 10. However, if I do that and I see this game through to completion, then that'll be the end of it for Ys 10 for me on playing this on the channel, because I won't have the need to play what is going to be coming out later. It recently was announced that Ys 10 in Japan, and Ys 10 has been out in Japan for a long time, is getting an update with new content, new fixes, new changes, and as I play through Ys 10, I have talked about certain issues I have with the game, certain weird things in the controls and the mechanics, and simply put, if they were going to be fixed in this version of the game has been out in Japan for a long time, I'd imagine they'd be patched in with the English release already. Now that they have announced that they are doing a Ys 10 redo, I guess, I am still a big fan of Ys, even this Ys 10, for all of its faults and problems that I ran into. I would still play, I would still enjoy, it's still something I would like to go through. But for the channel, I would like to revisit that game when the remake and the relaunch comes out. Who knows when? It's not even going to come out in Japan until 2025, but I don't mind that. And we are supposedly getting better Ys games re-released coming up soon, with newer updates and newer graphics and all of that stuff. The Oath of Felghana, I believe, is one we're getting, and I loved that game, and so that is one that I would like to swap into its place and continue forward. And should Ys 10 get its better released edition brought to America, then I will be revisiting that game. But that's something I wanted to say first and foremost. Doesn't seem like a very sweet 16 to me. I don't know, she's getting to go out and like actually do the thing she most wants to do. I don't know how people want to view like a quote unquote sweet 16, daddy's girl princess thing, but like for a 16th birthday, I don't know, that kind of sounds baller to me.
We expect great things of you.
Alright, and this is the memory thing. Oh, okay, so like how JRPGs, if you walk away from them too long and you forget where you're going or what's going on in the story, you can create a memory system by hitting that start button and remembering things being said and done in the game. That's kind of cool. Alright, up here, I'm going to quickly look around and grab some goodies from some things I might or might not be able to access. Alright, some new Wayfarer's clothes. Okay, so that's what they're called, is the Wayfarer's clothes. And I think that was the name before. I just remembered Traveler for some reason. Alright. I mean, they kind of have the general same meaning, but they are not the same word. Alright, no red books here, so there's not going to be anything important there. Nothing going on over there. No barrels, no none of that stuff. Alright, looks like there's nothing else going on this upper floor. Let's head down the stairs. I'm going to clear out the castle, and then when I know how many seeds I have to work with, I'm going to go and build my characters. I have one in mind already. Actually, I have two in mind already. One of them will be a name people are familiar with, I'm sure, as was already referenced earlier in the stream. Barrel. A medicinal herb. Give me the magic herbs. I remember one of my favorite games on the Game Boy Color was Lufia The Legend Returns. I believe was that. There's a lot of Lufia games, but The Legend Returns is the one that I remember on the Game Boy Color. When you're talking about the Lufia fandom, it's one that gets a lot of hate, honestly. But it's, for me personally, one of my favorite Game Boy Color games in general, and my personal favorite in the Lufia franchise. So obviously, once again, I am in the unpopular opinion, and I'm okay with it. There was something else I wanted to say about that. But there are some translation goofs that happened. There's a lot of typos in the game too. But one of the things I remember is the item that restores your magic, and it feeds into the idea that mages are just stoners that think they're doing cool shit, and everybody just kind of plays along. The item that replenishes your magic is actually just called Magical Pot, or Magic Pot. Oh, she's got a lisp. Those stupid grown-ups won't let me go outside because they have us too dangerous. It is that Snell's Odsfin's fault, isn't it? Oh, I hate him. It's so boring being cooped up in here. I tried to sneak out the other day and Daddy caught me. He's much more perceptive than he looks. I don't know how I managed to read that without falling apart, but I'm gonna high five myself on that one. All right, let's give it a little bit more look-sees. But look, you know, if you ever look into like a pot in a random place that you're coming across and you just find 25 bucks, man, take it. Run with that victory. You looked in the pot. You found a pot lid. What luck. Why can't I find pot lids on every pot? Why can't I take these swords and actual shields for that matter? Okay. Yeah, I believe the pot lid is just the baby's first shield in this game. Time to steal from the king, as they said in the Flapjack, steal from the rich and give to the I stand by this. Flapjack is better than Chowder. I think Flapjack had better story beats and concepts that played into what I liked more conceptually in a lot of ways. However, the Flapjack comedy oftentimes played on visual grotesque, and that's not something that I particularly enjoy, so as far as that goes, I was not a big Flapjack fan for that reason. However, artistically, again, because I didn't like the Flapjack approach of it, I did like Chowder's play with the, I don't know what to call it, the fabric textures, that art thing where the characters moved, but the art visual, it was like watching an inverted PNG move around. That was kind of cool. That was a style decision that I rather enjoyed the look of, if nothing else. Alright, got a mini medal. I think I know where those go. And I'm gonna need... I can't remember if the first reward is at 3 or 5. But you need so many to start getting rewards. I think that's a locked door, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's the locked door from earlier. So we have cleared out the castle, question mark. Certainly cleared it out enough that I can be on my way now. I think there are more of those magic seeds to be had in the town and all that, but I don't know where all of them are, and I will do some exploring and finding the goodies, just like I will be as I grind for levels in between sessions, predominantly while over the holidays, because I'm going to leave this game in my Switch and take my Switch with me when I have to go to certain places, so that every couple of minutes I get to go through and put some time in. And one benefit of the Switch is that you can just put the console to sleep and not have to worry about too much. Alright. Treasure. Give me treasure. Give me big accessory treasure. Isn't that like plus 3 or 5 on like attack and defense or something? Let me look into that. Alright, so it is on defense and it's plus 5. Is that right? Yeah. Yes. Math. So yeah, plus 5 defense right out of the gate is going to be pretty nice. Now, I did pre-order the game. I believe this is the chest for that, right? Yes? Yes. Yes. There's a lot of confusion going on here. Alright, I think this is Patty? And then upstairs is where I recruit my party members, right?
Hey, you. Still can't believe this day's finally here.
I am just giddy over the voice acting.
I remember when you popped out of your mother like it was yesterday.
Wait. Regret decisions?
Oh, and don't be thinking I'm ridiculously old or anything. I was just a kid back then. But it felt like I suddenly had a new sibling.
She's got such a Southern Belle accent, and it's adorable.
To think that was 16 whole years ago. At any rate, I'm sure you know by now, but Patty's Party Planning Place is your one-stop shop for all things adventuring. If you find yourself feeling lonely on the road, or simply want some muscle you can count on in a pinch, let me know. I'll find the perfect companions to suit your needs.
Speaking of cartoons, Pei actually gave me the knowledge. Oh yes, I read about this when Pei was putting a lot of the fun facts for these things in the Discord. That shocked me, and I didn't go check to verify, but I need to. This reminds me that I need to do that. The knowledge that the Jackie Chan Adventures ending theme is just Punk Ass Bitch by Wheatus with different lyrics. I need to look into that, because I'm sure he's not wrong, and I'm sure you've probably already verified that. I will never hear it the same again. It still doesn't register in my brain as real.
But gosh, you really are all grown up now, aren't you? May take me a while to get used to. At any rate.
Alright, welcome to Patty's Party Planning Place. If you wanna yada yada yada, I don't want any of the pre-done characters. I'm going to make my own. Thank you very much. Alright, starting right out of the gate. Welcome to Premier Adventurer Listing Services. With pals, you're sure to build a winning team. So it used to be that you could save scum without having to restart. Basically just build a character. If you don't like the character, back out, start again. You can start to play with the stats that you get a little bit. I might do that within reason if I just really, really, really don't like the starting stats that I'm getting, or if I get absolutely hot garbage seed rolls. But I'm going to try to not do too much of that, because there is something to be said about just Ian, get in there and play the game. Yeah, go, 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 go. Quote, Giratina. But yeah, if you are at the Giratina scenario, I assume you are just... If you have not played Platinum before, in my opinion, you are about to be in for a interesting treat. But I have heard people get lost in the Distortion realm. So, careful where you go. Realize it is meant to be a labyrinth. So you might get a little lost here and there. But it's also, as long as you do it in one sitting, I think easy enough to navigate. But visually, for a DS game of its era, kind of a dope experience. My opinion on that, I am willing to be incredibly wrong. Just tell us what you're looking for, and we'll deliver a qualified professional direct to the party planning counter. So, are you looking to bolster your roster with some fresh blood today? Absolutely. What kind of person are you looking for? Give me a name. Alright, so we are going to build the first known party member. Let's get Shoko in here, and the entire reasoning for this is, if you are familiar with the official art for the original Thief character, she also has white hair, much like Shoko, and for whatever reason, I saw some art of a character in a band, and for whatever reason, it was just like, oh, hey, I could kind of vibe with that. Now, there is a Beast character that I think visually looks even more like Shoko, but something about the personality of the Thief feels more right to her as a person. So that's the way I'm going to go with it. So we are going to have Shoko done. She is going to be a thief. Female. Yeah, okay, this is the look right here. That something about that just vibes with me. Gotta keep the... Oh, wait, hold on. The white or the silver? Okay, that's not quite silver. That's like a silver blue. All right, gotta go all in on the white. Honestly, that doesn't look terrible. So let's take a look at what we get for the... the seeds. Or seed. Well, which will give your team members a much-needed boost. Yes, I can pump them in myself, but I get 5 delivered by the king for the building of this character. I'm going to do it myself. I believe a thief does not need much in the realm of wisdom or any of that. However, luck is kind of important, I believe, as far as getting to steal usable things at the end. So let's pump that up. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, those are bad numbers. All right, and then we got that. I might have to run this roll again. Okay, no, wait. A 3 on luck and a 3 on strength. Putting the strength number at a decent spot. Let's... Oh, the personality is a spoiled brat. Personality often find their luck increases slightly quicker than normal. Honestly, I kind of want to go with that. I'm going to stick with it. That's funny. That feels really quiet. Like, why is that so much quieter than the rest of the voice acting? I don't know. Determined doesn't sound too bad for Shoko. Yeah, okay, hold up. Why does elegant also work? It's not quite what I think of when I think of elegant. I'm gonna go with the elegant. We're gonna have Shoko be an elegant, spoiled brat. All right, so Shoko is done. Can she join from right here? Awesome, fair enough. Okay, and then we are gonna go with. Y'all aren't gonna know the name. Just know that I have my brain on a swivel right now. Whoa, wait, where'd the A come from? We're gonna go with Terra, and Terra is going to be a lady of God. We're gonna play our priest. Gonna give her the healer role. Oh, okay, hold up. We got some different, some artworks to go with. I'm gonna stick with the classic. And let's see if I can... Ooh, I kind of like the... Are we feeling the brown or the blonde? I'm gonna go with the blonde. We're gonna have a blonde priest. Do it myself again. Now, for her, it seems like the smart thing is... it's a healer. You don't want your healer to go down. I think defense and wisdom are the way to go. A 3 right off of the bat, a 2 continuing on. That's pretty good. Let's pump the rest into wisdom. 2, 1, 2. You know, that's not bad. Let's see what the... Everyone's a spoiled... Okay, so the problem there is that's going to boost luck. And luck is not usable for her. So we're going to back out. And we're going to back out again. It's really just going to change the seed. So let's see if I go all the way back. Do I get different numbers here early? Those look different. I think the luck was started at a 6 before. So we're going to try this one. Alright, continue with the defense. Pump it to a 14. 16 is good. Let's go to wisdom. There we go. Suddenly those are big numbers. Egghead. Honestly, I can go with that. Increase their resilience. Their wisdom increases quickly, and that the resilience increases slightly quicker. Those are just general good layouts to have for her. So we're going to keep Terra at the egghead. And we're going to go to... Yeah, we'll go with Alluring. Alright, and I have the new class that I have to put together because I'm not going to be playing this game and not do it. And the character is meant to be a wild, animalistic beast trainer. Is the Gad about a clown man? I want to be a clown man. Rigid, I am doing all female runs here, and the last one being very animalistic and beastly-like. I am going to name her after my dog. So, sorry about that. So we are going to have Rhea. Honestly, I could have done... Even on the female only, I could have named them all pet names. It probably would have been a less insulting thing for me to do. Alright, we're going to go with Rhea. And Rhea is going to be the Monster Wrangler. Go on the female build. Yo, kind of digging the horns. Hold up, the horns are kind of cool, though. All right, we've got the original. Nothing wrong with that. Kind of vibing with the horns. I'm going horns. All right, again, wait. All right, see, on there, I kind of like the silvery blue, but also, you know, Rhea's a German Shepherd. Let's go with the nice brown. All right, we're going to do it myself here. Hold on, Petra, what are you doing, girl? Feeling like coming up here during the stream? I apologize, my cat just jumped up on here, and you know the rules of the internet. Cat shows up, got a pet cat. Also, Starmie just... Hold on. No, wait. So Giratina says, "Hubba-dubba-dubba-dubba-doo," Kabfu says. Starmie, yes, I'm aware of this fun fact in the French version. Starmie is a recording of someone having a very fun time recording voice acting roles in the French version. But yeah, the Gadabout, not gonna lie, in the not in the classic, I think the Gadabout came about in the Game Boy Color version for the first run. I don't think it's in the original. The Gadabout is actually a really, really useful role, but kind of unpredictable. All female for the culture, absolutely. Alright, so let's go through here. I am of the opinion, from what I understand of these characters, if wisdom allows me to have more MP, I would go this way, but I don't think that's how wisdom works. Based on what I'm somewhat familiar with, I'm going to want to have agility so that they act first. Also, you know, German Shepherd got... Oh, those are terrible. Those are terrible numbers. Oh, this is awful. Oh, even another... Yeah, no. Nope, don't want. Get me... Bad. Bad build. Go all the way back. Let's come here. You know what? Maybe the horns were cursed. We'll go with the classic. Gonna keep the brown hair, though. Alright, let's try that again. Oh, no. Okay, now we're getting some better things here. Why is Rhea cursed? Rhea! Come here, girl! Be better! Do better, girl! Alright, one more run. I'm gonna... Those are terrible numbers, but I don't want to sit here all day. So, let's start with the strength. Oh, they're so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Oh! Quite the what? No. Why so bad? Why all of the terrible numbers? Alright. Okay, quite the clown. You know, that's fair enough. Their agility increases quickly, and that their wisdom and luck increases slightly. You know, I don't think I hate that. Especially because there are things you can do in the game that will let you alter their personality by letting them experience the wondrous culture that is written literature. So I think I can start with this. Rhea is just trying her bestest. Alright, so we're going to go with that. We're going to have her be a bit of a clown, which is very on brand with who she is. So I'm okay with that. Man, why is wild like such a... That is way too... It's more childish than childish. Alright, reserved. We're going to go with reserved. There we go. Join the party, Rhea. Honestly, that side profile, for whatever reason, if you remember in Dragon Ball Z, in the Buu arc, when Gohan is in class, there is a male character that is kind of, sort of, somewhat, I guess, maybe friend-ish like. For whatever reason, That side profile of Rhea's character art down there reminds me of that character. All right. That should be everyone equipped out, ready to go. So let's make sure that they are given what weapons they can have. Okay. Enhances experience with every... Yo! Holy sweet mother of God, that luck! I'm just gonna... Let me just... Hold on. Holy fuck. Let's put 50 luck on you. That's kind of broken, but also it's just luck. Like, how much is that gonna change in the early game? But also kind of freaking wild. Alright, I think our squishiest character... Let's take a look here. 21 is what Shoko is already at. 21 is also what the priest is at. What is Rhea at? Oh, Rhea needs armor help. So Rhea is gonna grab that item. Ooh, give her the big stick. Absolutely. She could have a shield, but we don't have any shields that I have money for. Put her in the clothes because she is all kinds of squishy and sad and must protect my doggy. Alright, and then the Wayfarer's clothes again on the healer. Healer is always an important role. And we have a shield on our thief, which is kind of weird, but we're going to take it. Nothing there. There we go. We are fully equipped. Wait, hold up. Pot. Yeah, pot. Not a druggie. Not the reference I was making. I apologize for that. Wild sounds like an angry chihuahua, and with that context, it actually makes a lot more sense. Chihuahuas are the embodiment of a fighting spirit inside of a tiny package. By the way, apparently, he is not in chat right now, I don't think. But apparently Richard is going to be having one of his little baby chihuahuas featured in some sort of, in some pet-based, calendar coming up. And I hope Richard thinks to share that in the Discord when the calendar is made available, because I absolutely would buy one. Alright, I don't remember there ever being sparklies on the ground out here, so what is this? Alright, you know, free goodies and a seed of stamina. Absolutely worth grabbing. I remember... Alright, I've got one story to get to before we do a couple of fights and kind of really get things kickstarted. I remember having the original Dragon Warrior on the NES that I bought a complete in-box version of after buying a version that was busted and broken, and I don't know why and how, but I remember playing through the entire game, leaving the first town, engaging in a fight with a slime. It was just a singular slime is what showed up and spawned as an enemy. Let me grab this item while I'm here. And that single fight afterwards resulted in a bugged line of dialogue that just didn't load right and things were wonky all over the place. Alright, it should be... Oh, wait, do I not control my party anymore? Wait, what? Why? What happened? Also, that is a slow run of combat. I'm going to want to take a closer look at the combat menus here in a moment. Anyways, yeah, the dialogue was bugged. It was busted out. It was not loading properly. But it was like still playing. It was running. It was acting like if you've ever watched speedrunners that allow for like bugs and things, there is a thing that you can do called cartridge tilting, in which you would intentionally like unplug and plug back in the cartridge to a game to fuck with the load order quite a bit. Alright, yeah, okay, I can turn up the battle speed. What are the tactics? Yeah, everybody follow my orders. Don't do your own thing. I don't trust any of you. Alright, basic attack. Shoko is going to be just a basic attack for now. I don't think I'm going to be using a lot of abilities for quite a while. Terra with the big-ass club is just fun. Anyways, I don't think I'm going to do a lot more than basic attacking with this lineup for quite a while. However, I think the Monster Tamer gets a lot of monster skills, and that'll be something worth checking into. And obviously, Terra being a healer is only going to be using the skills when needed. Anyways, the cartridge tilting is a thing, and it was acting in such a way that the game was playing like I expect to see. Obviously, when I was playing this game, I didn't know too much about that, but... Oh, that's right, because I get a lot of experience based on my steps, too. So it would make sense that I level up that quickly. I was going somewhere with the thoughts and the poor brain processes. Yeah. Afterwards, the game loaded a new line of dialogue that should have come at the end of the game. And then when it stopped the... as I recall, when the game went from loading the combat scene, much like what you're seeing here, Shoko is getting bodied. Gonna have to put some healing on her already. She is a thief. She is not particularly well built around full-on combat. Although those are some good strength numbers. Agility went good, and luck always going up is also good. But yeah, it started loading a scene at the end of the game, and it plays through, and it just gives me the end, congratulations, you did it moment, right? And I'm just like, first of all, the thought that ran through my head is, what the fuck? I wanted to play through my game, but then I was just like, did I just bullshit my way accidentally that I don't know how this happened, and I know damn well I'll never be able to repeat the moment? What's the record for this? It was so dumb, and I don't know what happened. Obviously, don't have a recording of it. Picture it didn't happen, right? So all I have is the story of buying Dragon Warrior because I wanted to play Dragon Warrior, and realizing that there was something all kinds of fucked with about my cartridge. And then when I took it back, because I still wanted to play Dragon Warrior, I noticed that they had a CIB copy. This is back before the game prices shot to all hell and back. They had a CIB of Dragon Warrior, and I was just like, yes, give me that one, please, want now. Finally go to the 8th gym. Alright, Dem, what did you think about the Distortion Realm? Was it any decent for you? And was the Giratina fight at least kind of showy, if nothing else? Our brains run on Intel processors, clearly. Just don't turn on our sticky keys. Oh no! No, the sticky keys on the human body sounds like a terrible reference that I'm not going to look it too far into, because that's already making me massively uncomfortable. Alright, is Shoko healed after the level up? Yes, she is. Alright, so what I remember is there is a tower down here somewhere that you can get to that has some goodies to go through, a dungeon to pass through. There's a village in the upper left. I think there's like a small hidden thing across this body of water over here in the grass along the way. And then go further right and you reach a big portion of the... when you traverse to the next region. I believe that's where that kind of goes to. I also remember... again, it might be a translation thing. I don't know what the official original terminology is. But I remember back in the day when you got to the point of... we'll get there in the story when I actually unfold with the story, which will probably be in the... Ooh, Dazzle Me Nots? When we get into the area in the next stream, I'm sure... I recall the game giving you a goddamn bomb and calling it a bomb. Here, take this explosive 16-year-old child. But in a lot of the later releases of the game, they reword it and really mild it out. It's no longer... It's a bomb. It's a bomb. It does bomb things, but we can't call it a bomb. Because kids and bombs and the terminology and the ESRB, fuck you. But yeah, that's how I remember a lot of that going. So this is the JRPG experience for Dragon Quest here. One thing I will say is, I don't know if I'm just remembering it wrong, or if this is just because of the remake-ism, or maybe it's because the combat can be turned way up and made to go much faster. But I don't remember. Obviously, I also had the experience shoes that are freaking wild. But I don't remember being able to level up this fast. I feel like this game is probably modernly streamlined to not force you to do a whole lot of grinding. And other people are only level 2 right now. But even still, for level 2, for whatever reason, my brain says those numbers are actually pretty good. Well, I'm playing it on... Oh, Poke MMO. They changed the battle slightly. Most fights are harder. Example, having 6 mons. And even youngster Joey's Rattata has coverage moves. I was allowed 3 mons and couldn't catch. Damn. So, right off the bat, that does kind of suck. But I didn't know that Poke MMO was a thing. I'll have to look into that. I know that there are MMO-like Pokemon games, but I didn't know... I assume this is purely a fan project, but I didn't know about that one in particular, so I might look into that. I also remember somebody at some point, and I don't know how far the project ever got, but it was really cool, and I remember playing it in its early infancy stages, was remaking Gold and Silver, and they were doing it in a third-person, or in a 3D first-person view. So you were playing the old Gold and Silver in a first-person view of the world, with all of the sprite arts given a 3D depth to them, much like kind of what we get in experience with this on the world layout looks. But it was done, again, from that first-person perspective, and was so freaking cool. Poke MMO has been a thing for a hot minute, actually. Again, would I be surprised by that? No. It's the kind of thing that I know a lot of fans talk about. They wish that they would do in the Pokemon official. I'll be honest, I'm not on that boat myself. I like the Pokemon remaining the first, the single player experience, with the multiplayer content being additional, optional, and side stuff. The one thing that I remember a lot of people getting super excited for, and even back in the day I said, man, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, was people wanting the Pokemon experience to get into that modern day look, third person view-esque thing. There's an old meme in which people would be like, oh man, imagine if Pokemon looked like Skyrim. And I'm just like, that would suck. You lose a lot of the heart and soul of what Pokemon is, and you're trading it for visual fidelity. It's not something I was in favor of. And honestly, even when the game left its 2D sprite platform format, and I'm counting into the DS and the 3DS era in my viewing of that, as soon as we started getting outside, when they started experimenting with the idea of leaving that, you started to see the downfall in quality. It was slow at first, but then when you look at, like, let's look at Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, the drop in certain polish, at the very least. We can have our differing opinions as far as like visuals go, music goes, all of that stuff, but the polish as far as things working reliably and functioning, it was on the way down hard by the time we got to those ones. And I think a part of it, it's personal opinion, not anything factual, is I don't think it was ever made with that design approach in mind, and the cycle has gotten so fast-handed and needing to constantly be churned out with new content that the quality of the games has suffered as a result of that cycle. And yeah, so I assume this is Poke MMO has been out since 2012. I remember in the Dragon Quest Monsters game, for a lot of the early game monsters you can get, I remember really liking the beast creatures, and the anteater is commonly one of the, obviously here we're calling it the ant nibbler, and there's going to be probably, I imagine, different colors of this creature with different names as the game progresses. That's kind of a thing that goes on. But I remember the anteaters being monsters I really enjoyed. I also really, really like a lot of the basic slimes. I like the slime. I like the heel slime. I do like the metal slime variant, and I'll even take the metal bubble slime. I can't think of what it's called. But, like, I'm not a big fan of the poison one. There's a lot of variations. Like, there's, like, a spot slime. They call it a she slime for one of them. But until you get up to, like, the Drake slime, I don't hate. The wild slime in Dragon Quest Monsters, I really enjoy. It's got, like a mohawk or something. And then you get to the king slimes. Like, those are the ones I really enjoy. Alright, so honestly, just gonna say it because I am getting at the point of wrapping up for the stream and doing some grinding and exploring, getting some gears, so that on the next stream I can push forward on more story element. I want to say and point to it right now. Look at the visual layering here, the attention to detail, the beauty of what they managed to make here. I have a freaking lantern with actual lighting following me. This is visually beautiful. It is almost everything I wanted it to be. I will say once again, I am not a fan of the censorship and some of the changes in that direction. I understand that there are going to be some things different between versions because it's just what happens as it develops over time. But the censorship, I'm not a fan of. I really thought it was a dick move in bad faith to come out with the realization that people had seemed to be of the implication that there wasn't going to be a whole lot of that. Toriyama passed away, and then immediately they announced, hey, by the way, we're changing some of the visual designs of the characters from what you remember growing up. Congratulations, middle fingers to the fans. So I was not a fan of seeing that. I don't believe the corporate garbage bullshit that they put out regarding it. I don't know what story elements are heavily changed or if there are dialogue options that have been swapped around. I, again, would not be surprised to find out if that is the case. I have heard, and I have not verified, that some of the Puff Puff scenes are not in this game, and that is a great sin if that is the case, but I'm putting a big pin on that as a hard if. The last thing I'm going to put in on that is, again, the music, great, sounds just like as I remember, but, you know, kind of livened up a little bit. The visuals are pretty as all hell. I love the idea and the appeal and the visual element of the new class system. I understand that you're going to be able to find monsters and recruit them as long as you have one of these characters. There's a lot of additional content in this too. I just want to say, at the end of this first stream, I have the things I don't like. I'm going to speak out against those every opportunity I get. But this game is fun. I like this. Alright, so let me, hey Pei, I'm sorry that you are stopping in at the end of this here, but, for what it's worth, I am very much appreciative that you stopped in, and I hope that your holiday season goes well. I know that things are rough for you right now, but, again, not that it means much of anything, not that it has a lot of real world, I know you're a practical guy. I do hope that things go better for you. Damn, now I gotta go find a gym leader. I'm never gonna fight him. Yeah, the game will send you all over the place. Scarlet and Violet is the Cyberpunk 2077 of Pokemon. I feel like I've made this comparison before. I know we're speaking different games, but similar launch window. Yes, and it definitely has a lot of those bugs and glitches, and it is unfortunately marred by the fact that far too many of them, even to this day, are prevalent all over the place. Scarlet and Violet has a lot going for it that I do enjoy, but it's got a lot of problems. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping in, for checking this out with me. I will probably be starting back at the first town next time I see you for the streaming of this game, which will be after Christmas at least. This is the last stream before the holidays. So, as I sign off, thank you everybody for stopping in. I hope you had a good one. I hope to see you next time. And in the in-between, please enjoy your holidays, have fun, and enjoy it. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.